I know this will break a lot of hearts. But seriously, Laal Singh Chaddha will not do well. Out of five, it just deserves 2 or 2.5 stars. समस्या है मतलब बड़ी समस्या है पिक्चर में. It could have been a great film, but, and here lies the rub. Lal Singh Chaddha is neither classy nor massy. It is a remake of Forrest Gump. So don't tell me not to bring the Robert Zemeckis film up. I mean, ये इस बात तो करनी पड़ेगी ना, Forrest Gump की ओरिजिनल की. Now Zemeckis was a clever guy. He played both ways. He picked up a character, made him into some sort of a stereotype, the dumb American who goes through momentous events that change the world, and yet remains untouched. The battle of complexities versus simplicities, where funny moments do take place, like the buttock scene, where Forrest Gump, who had returned from the Vietnam War, is asked by the American President Johnson, yes, that was some amazing VFX for its time, where exactly was he shot? And Gump unbuckles his pants and shows the president his bum. I mean, what the F, man? He got a bullet in his buttocks. No, sorry, I can't pronounce that word the way Tom Hanks did. No, sir. But, well. Now, that scene can be interpreted as a simpleton doing what is asked from him by the authority. It can also be seen as the authority being shown the butt by a commoner. Not consciously, but, well, just the way things are. And the authority, in this case President Johnson, takes perverse pleasure on seeing the boy he, the president, had sent out on a war that later turned out to be more a display of American vanity, which got 58,000 American boys killed, and yet the victory stood smiling on the side of the enemy, them Viet Congs, as boxer Muhammad Ali, who resisted the draft, would have remarked. Well, the Vietnam War was a colossal failure, and yet Johnson was laughing like an uncle who had just sent his boys to whip the enemy and didn't care a damn to what happened to them. So, see, one scene, three meanings, right? एक सीन में तीन लेयर्स हैं, तीन मीनिंग्स हैं. What does the director Robert Zemeckis achieve? He mocks at the simpleton, he mocks at authority at the same time. No judgment, because in any given moment of interaction, you are showing your bum to someone, right? You are being made fun of. At the same time, the authority is being shown the up yours sign. Every character is a character and a self-critique. The film plays both ways. Zemeckis said that. I mean, yeah, he did. That I played both ways. It's official. Though in 1994, when Forrest Gump was released, there were these elections to the US Congress, and the film, it is said, favored the Republicans. So yes, it played both ways, but at one particular moment, it worked one way. That kind of shit happens, man. I mean, coming back to the double-edged import of the film, you can either scream, hey, republicanism has won, we don't need Ivy League IQ to be a good, simple, patriotic person who can get by momentous events and is rewarded a happy ending. And yet, because you are ending happy in complex situations in which others are dying, it spotlights your innate naivety, and it's not good to be naive. You see, Aamir or Advait Chauhan, the director, or Atul Kulkarni, the writer, failed to get that. नहीं पकड़ पाए. अपने दोस्त लोग नहीं पकड़ पाए. They could not play both ways. दो तरफा वो नहीं खेल पाए. They did not play anyways. Laal Singh Chaddha remains the average bloke, but he doesn't do things that mock him, and unwittingly mock the system of which he is a part of. Laal Singh Chaddha becomes a journey of an innocent, uncorrupted man who embraces all that is good or bad in the world with a pure heart. He becomes a Raj Kapoor like caricature. This is the problem, mates. You are trying to adapt Forrest Gump without understanding that this film is rooted in American culture and politics. Whereas you have cut your Laal Singh Chaddha out of any socio-economic bonding. He is just a good man in a bad, good, bad world. He can make some wisecracks like the one on religion, but since he is not from any socio-economic context, that comment is meaningless and reactionary. Worse has been done to Rupa D'Souza, the Kareena Kapoor character. Jenny in Forrest Gump emerged from a specific context. She represents the American liberal who has strayed from his or her radical easy rider days and is now at sea in the, let's say, Reagan or post-Reagan era. Jenny is also a type, the American whose hippie revolution fails. And Zemik continues to play both ways. See, he played both ways with Forrest Gump, he plays both ways with Jenny. On the one hand, Jenny can be seen representing the dark failure of the American counterculture that emerged in the late 60s and 70s as a response to the authoritarianism of the American state, family, and private property. At the same time, she can be seen as a victim of that system. Rupa D'Souza in Laal Singh Chaddha comes across as a woman with a painful past, but she does not represent a trend or a stream of Indian society. Aamir Khan bhai sahab se pucha gaya tha. Aamir Khan was asked about it at a recent media interaction, and he said, Kareena's character is the one that has been altered the most amongst the characters in the original. We don't have that cultural reference of hippies, drugs, etc. in India. Really? Anyway, hence we have altered her part appropriately as to what is relevant in our society. That is Aamir talking. I mean, really, Aamir, what is relevant in our society? This is the problem, man. Individuals are not individuals per se in cinema. I mean, this is the aesthetics of art, let us say. Individuals are not individuals per se in cinema. They represent some trend. Kareena's painful past, her getting stuck with a criminal Muslim boyfriend, all these things do stand in contrast to Laal Singh Chaddha's foolish simplicity. So far, so good. But then why is Rupa like that? What is her socio-economic context? If that was explained well, her interactions with Laal Singh Chaddha would have had a different emotional charge. So we have two central characters who do not represent a trend. There, I just nailed it. That is the problem with the film. Kareena says in an interview that Laal Singh Chaddha stands on its own. People should not compare it with Forrest Gump, and that Gump was an elitist classist film. How wrong, Kareena. Gump was tendentious, but it was a mass film. It was rooted, as I said, in American culture. Can you really say that Laal Singh Chaddha is a rooted story in Indian culture or context? Even in the manner and characters of Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum were? I mean, I don't like that Karan Johar film at all, and the way it celebrated certain upper class family values. But at least it was rooted. In fact, here I would like to propose that it would have been better had the Laal Singh character been of Hindu upper caste background. And he could have remained a simple fool. Writers and Aamir could have then shown the changes in the upper caste Hindu ecosystem from a liberal, carefree atmosphere of the 70s to the gradual slide towards a regressive socio-political and communal position by the 2000s. In this way, the makers of Laal Singh could have done something unique without directly being political or falling foul of the current set of authorities. I mean, this is what Aamir Khan fears, right? But they could have achieved what they set out to without, angering the current lot which is in power. Kareena's Rupa D'Souza could also have been a Hindu character, one of those privileged girls, the Miranda house types, who wanted to join the Naxalite movement in the 70s. Look, Amir cannot say that Indian society did not have its brush with radicalism. True, the drug and hippie culture was not prevalent, but upper class romanticism and adventurism existed in plenty. Kareena's Rupa could have stood in that category. As the way Rupa is in this film, she comes across as a promiscuous Christian woman. See, this is what the absence of a context does to a film. Unintentionally, perhaps, you turn its characters into biases. In Hindi cinema, it is the Christian woman who has been demonized as the perpetual smoking, drinking, promiscuous vamp. Kareena's Rupa, though very different, comes under that mold eventually. Kareena has performed well in the film, and some moments of her with Aamir Khan are genuinely poignant. Genuinely poignant. But her corresponding to a negative type is awful. The audience is not challenged the way it was challenged in a mass film like Diwar, written by Salim Javed, where a normal Hindu girl, Parveen Bavi, was shown as a smoking, drinking call girl. And Aamir and the makers of Laal Singh Chaddha, you are trying to make a sensitive film. Why then fall back on showing the Muslim again as bad? The two Muslim characters in the film, Kareena's boyfriend is a criminal, and another character is in the Pakistani army who Aamir wins over. This is nothing but a continuation of the othering of Muslims in another way. Well, Indian cinema is passing through a transition. There is a lot of anger in the society. Days of syrupy romances and old type of feel-good films is over. The angry underdog, the Amitabh Bachchan of the 70s, is back. Only this time, South Indian cinema has picked up the underdog and is giving one hit after another. Hindi cinema, I hate the term Bollywood, is still stuck somewhere in Karan Johar, Aditya Chopra, Suraj Bhattacharya days. The old Akshay Kumar star status huge films with grand canvases, paid PRs, but no anger are not going to work.